I mentioned in a few videos that I kind of went light on my Indiana Jones collection due to the price point. 25 bucks a figure kind of made me a little hesitant, even if I got to do really funny things like this. Well, the holidays came and went, and it turned out a lot of my friends and family, probably watching my videos and me talking about passing on indie figures, wound up getting me quite a few. In fact, I actually got some doubles. I got a double of Temple of Doom and Last Crusade, and looking at these, I noticed some things. With the Temple of Doom indie, there was basically no difference. The figure, whether I had the first one I had or the one I got for the holidays, exactly the same, even down to the scuffs on his boots. But not so much for the Last Crusade indie. I'm hoping it comes across well in these images. I took some video too, but the earlier one I got, is a little wonky, and the hat doesn't quite fit on his head. The one on the left there, you can see the hat's riding higher. The paint job isn't as crisp. These are the exact same figure, but I'm hoping these pictures do it justice. The one on the left just has that wonkiness to it in the eyes and the way the hat and the way the paint job is done on the face. All right, so let me kind of also even show you on the articulation. So this is the first one I got, and this is the second. You can see that the articulation is still there. The hat is articulated itself, so the hat can turn and can kind of go down. But look at how like wonky it is here. Boom, boom. And on this one, well, here, let me show you. So you have to actually grab his head. So, it still articulates, and you can pull it off. I mean, it's kind of like She-Ra's mask from more. You're not supposed to display him without his hat, see? But it's still articulated to give you more, ability to customize his look. Versus this first release that I got, the hat is like really loose. It sits high on his head, and again, the face paint is not quite as crisp. Now, why is this? I mean, the exact same figure, right? You would think you would get, there would be consistency. And so why is it? Why do you get lack of consistency with a standard action figure? Well, I'm glad that I noticed this on this indie figure because it's a great example of what's called a PP review sample. What is that? All right, PP review is a pilot production sample, meaning before you go into full production, between prototype and full production is a pilot production, where you will run a small number of units that will, one, ship to stores to meet requirements, but they also will send usually 5 samples to the manufacturer to review, make comments, and then make adjustments for the remainder of the production. But because of the way stores need their product, usually about the first 3,000 to 5,000 units have to be produced in what's called the pilot run and do ship to stores. The 4 or 5 samples that can go to the manufacturer, they'll review it for consistency. And you can see here the lack of consistency. See how the pig is packed in a different spot each time? That's not supposed to happen. It's supposed to be consistent. So when you have a PP meeting, you get 5 samples sent from China, and usually you've got cross-functional members of the team, and they're going to pull apart a figure. I remember the very first PP review I ever did was on this Clayface figure, which hadn't hit retail yet, and I'm watching all of the designers just yank him apart and smash him on the ground because they're trying to find anything wrong with it to improve. So if a action figure is going to have a run of, say, 10,000 units, which is about average for a mass retail line, well, those first 3,000 to 5,000 have a very good chance of having an error. So this is a really good example. This Wolverine figure had to get changed because he had the wrong legs. This was noticed during the PP review, and a switch was made. But because you still have to produce 3,000 to 5,000 units, they still make it out to stores. Now, this is different from a running change. A running change is when you go back into production a second time, and you can make changes. So the PP review is making changes to a current run, and usually the only run. Not many toys get a second run. And then if you're going to go into production again, you make these running changes. So this Bib Fortuna figure, his first run, he had too much blue all over his head tails. I think they're called latkes? No, those are Hanukkah treats. Okay, well, whatever they're called, lakus? I don't know, look it up. It's on Wikipedia, nerds. The point is his head tails had too much blue, so when he had a new production run, he had a running change to have the blue toned down or removed. So this is not a PP run. This is a second entire run of the figure where change can actually be initiated. Most of the time, the changes are done in a PP review, but because runs are so small, about half the total run is going to make it out to retail, which means sometimes it's good to wait to get figures after the PP review because you'll get a better figure that way. I know it's kind of painful for collectors, but that's how PP reviews work, and that's why sometimes the very first figures that hit the retail pegs aren't quite right. I hope this video was a good insight into why not every figure is consistent and how PP production pilot runs work. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and as always, thank you for sharing these videos. It's the best way to support this channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.